Welcome to the RUDYK Report. Today is Monday, April 17th, 2023. If you can, please support this channel by buying me a cup of coffee or by visiting my affiliate links. Your help is greatly appreciated and helps us to continue to provide content. Founder and managing partner of Matterhorn Asset Management, Egon von Grers, has stated that the inevitable consequences of the current global debt bubble will be the bankruptcy of the financial system and many of its participants. The recent bank failures of Silvergate, Silicon Valley Bank, and Signature Bank are just a taste of what's to come. This, of course, has put severe pressure on the United States and European banking systems, and in my opinion, at some point, this will cause a collapse of the financial markets that has never been seen before because everything is interconnected from countries to individuals. Everyone will be affected. Many ask, how and when will this start? But the truth is, these events have already been put into motion and have already started, but many are ignoring it or don't want to face the truth. If you are paying attention, you know that 4 banks have already collapsed, and that's a big deal. It was such a big deal that central banks have pumped in over $500 billion into the market over the last several weeks. Most see that type of action, see the markets rise a bit and say, see, everything is okay now. The markets are up and my 401k has gone up in value this week. However, they're ignoring what's actually taking place. And what is taking place is happening in slow motion, and so much so that people don't see it, or they don't want to see it, or they're just ignoring it because the ramifications are so dire for most people that they can't even think about it. But at some point, that time will come, and that could be in a few weeks, months, who knows for sure. But it will come, and it will be at that point that people will wake up, but it will be far too late. These are the times where those who are paying attention still have some time to make some small changes in their investments that could have huge positive impacts should the economy collapse. If you wait too long, then you will no longer be able to act. In fact, if you wait too long, the financial losses could be unrecoverable. In the United States and in Europe, we are in a debt crisis. That much is obvious. The global debt is out of control, and when we include derivatives, which we should, that number skyrockets to over $3 quadrillion. People need to realize that there is no way ever we could pay off that debt. Currently, we have interest rates rising in both the United States and in the European Union. As interest rates rise both in the United States and in the European Union, outstanding credit is contracting. In the United States, the balance sheets for all banks to Tier 1 capital are at a 30-year high. Tier 1 capital is the core measure of a bank's financial strength from a regulator's point of view. It is composed of core capital, which consists primarily of common stock and disclosed reserves. So this is an unstable level which puts the United States banking system in a very fragile position. U.S. banks must now shrink their balance sheets substantially by demanding loan repayments. It is the same in the European Union, and banks continue to tighten credit. This past Sunday, Janet Yellen stated that banks might further tighten lending in the wake of the abrupt collapses of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Banks are likely to become somewhat more cautious in this environment, she said. With high interest rates combined with an enforced credit contraction, it will not only put pressure on borrowers, but also on the banking system. As bank failures occur and as defaults accelerate, the central banks will continue to print money at an ever-increasing pace. So not only will credit be restricted, it will also continue to become more and more expensive. This will lead to major defaults by borrowers, and banks' liabilities will exceed their assets. So it goes without question that there will be a constant pressure on banks' liquidity and solvency. So it seems the money printing will never stop as our debt goes higher and higher. But you need to remember that this is all causing more and more current and future problems, and without the ability to print more and more fake money, banks would have gone bankrupt long ago. But it appears the good old boys club will continue, all but guaranteeing a total collapse in the future. But for those of us who don't have a printing press, we need to take different actions, either increasing incomes, reducing expenses, or changing how we view our assets. Central bank actions will no doubt band-aid this situation yet again, but also, with it, will guarantee with 100% certainty that the crash will be incoming and it will be cataclysmic. Here is what you can expect moving forward into this crisis. The dollar devaluation ultimately leading to a collapse, high inflation leading to hyperinflation, food, energy, and resource shortages, debt defaults leading to debt collapse, stock market crash, a total financial system meltdown, geopolitical and social turmoil leading to civil unrest and geopolitical problems, and perhaps the collapse of the West and the elevation of the East and the South. I know I'm painting a doomy picture, and of course no one knows how long it will take, but know this, that it is unfolding slowly now. Never in history have we been so close to a complete financial meltdown. You may say that the Great Depression was a meltdown, but the difference is this time the meltdown will be worldwide. Like with any looming risk, the key is prepare and protect against the risk now while you can. I have stated this so many times that it is critical to prepare before it all unhinges so that you are somewhat or even fully prepared for the collapse and its aftermath. Remember that the whole financial system is totally interconnected, and once one major bank fails, the dominoes start to fall and will permeate the entire system. We have seen and continue to see the central banks printing billions and billions of dollars to prop up the economy. But once derivatives begin to collapse, it's game over. Inflation will skyrocket, and the dollar won't be worth the paper it's printed on. As with all fiat money that has collapsed over the decades, the dollar will as well. And in its wake will be millions of people bankrupt and begging for government handouts. But you don't need to be one of them. Do as some countries are doing and perhaps take a look at moving away from dollars and moving into gold or silver assets in the physical form. Remember, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. As with all my messages, this is not financial advice. But get extra food, get extra water, get cash for emergencies in case there are continued bank runs, and if possible, get out of debt and move some money into precious metals. There are many reputable companies to buy from. Some include JM Bullion, SD Bullion, and Money Metals. You can use whoever you think is best, but just take some action before you can't. Until next time, this is the RUDYK Report.